Hey you guys, we are live on a Wednesday night. I apologize for jumping in a couple minutes late. Sometimes it's hard to get an internet connection, but we are up and running, and hopefully you guys have been patiently waiting for us to go live. So we are live here on Facebook and YouTube. So welcome if you are joining on either one of those locations. I always like to just suggest, if you are new and you're joining me on Facebook, please take a moment to hit that like button, and that way you will be notified when I go live on Facebook. And if you're joining me from YouTube, again, please feel free to hit that subscribe button so that when I do go live or I do upload a recorded video from a previous live, you will be notified, and then you can either jump in here live with us or you can jump in on the recording. Always feel free on both locations to leave your comments and questions. I do go back and review even the recorded versions, and I try to make sure that I leave a comment if you took the time to leave one for me on either Facebook or YouTube. If you are new to me in general, I always just like to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Diane. I have been helping women find nutritional programs and fitness plans to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And for me, over the past couple of years, that has been done primarily through my research and experimentation and implementation of intermittent fasting. And I have used that process to not only heal myself from some things that were going on with me because of some hormonal changes I was going through. I was suffering from insulin resistance and some pre-diabetic states, as well as some thyroid issues. And I'm pretty sure I had an autoimmune disorder just from the symptoms that I was kind of suffering from, and then my inability to lose weight and unwanted body fat. And through intermittent fasting, I have been able to reverse all of those things. And now I am able to say very happily that I am living my authentic life, and I am doing that because of what I have found with intermittent fasting and the lifestyle that I have created for myself through implementing intermittent fasting. And through that process, I have created a course that now I offer for other women who would like to do the same thing, but maybe want to do it in a little shorter version. It took me about 2 years to figure all this out through all the research and experimentation and a little bit of failing that I had to do. And then I finally fine-tuned it so that any woman who is suffering from some of the things that we go through as we age can find success with intermittent fasting, and that we are doing it in our course within a matter of days sometimes, and we have everything compressed into a 30-day program so that you can find some relief for what you're looking for with some of the things that you're going through as we age. So tonight, we are going to talk specifically about the scale and why it is, as women, we feel like we need to weigh ourselves. And for some women, we have a need to weigh ourselves frequently. There's really no guidelines or anything that we need to kind of honor or live up to as far as the scale is concerned, other than what society has done to us as women in using the scale as a way to judge our success or our failure. We know as women when we are on track. We can tell by the way we feel, we can tell by the way our clothes feel, and we can tell by the way we visualize ourselves when we look at ourselves in a mirror. And the reality is, as women, we do that often, and we do that very judgmentally. So if you're seeing something that is good in the mirror, why do we need to back that up with a number that is presented at our feet on a scale? And there really is no guideline or no standard that we have to live up to that says that if we step on a scale and it presents a certain number that we are, or we should consider ourselves successful or failures in what we're trying to pursue with our nutrition and our fitness. I always try to teach that the way you feel and your health should always come first, and the number on that scale should really only be used as an infrequent guideline that we can kind of use to more importantly prove what we're feeling that's good, as opposed to prove what we're feeling that's bad. And the scale is that thing that if we aren't emotionally and psychologically prepared to see what number pops up when we put our 2 feet on that tiny little device, that it could really throw any positive efforts or any positive work that we put into making some changes for our health nutritionally and physically and health-wise into a tailspin and send us backwards, and can make us feel like we're failing. And the amazing thing, and probably the one thing that stumps us most as women is, we can't always figure out when our body is going to be ready to let go of weight. And I know that in my past, there have been many times where I felt absolutely amazing and I felt like I was doing all the right things. And I knew that there was going to be this certain number that popped up on a scale. And then as soon as I put my 2 feet on that scale and a different number popped up that wasn't the number that I wanted to see, and it was something that I was discouraged by, it really did take my positive and encouraging and motivated feelings that I had about the work that I had done up to that point and completely crushed it for me. And so when I started struggling with my insulin resistance and some of the pre-diabetic things that I had going on and the hormonal changes that I was going through, that was really packing the pounds on for me, regardless of the fact that I was running and exercising and eating a very clean diet plan, the scale wasn't budging, and no matter what I was doing, it was just making things for me emotionally and psychologically and even self-consciously, and just kind of ruining my confidence to the point where I was almost ready to just kind of throw in the towel and say, forget it, it's not worth it. And then when I started making those changes and I started doing the things that were more health related and doing things on a focused, fixing my body health-wise and really fixing my hormones and balancing out my hormones. And when I started doing things on that level, and then I started seeing and feeling the changes, I honestly really worked on keeping my feet off the scale. Because when my goals for my health changed from weight and success or failure to health and feeling great, then it really didn't matter anymore what number showed up on the scale, because I knew I was feeling better and I knew that I was doing good for my body on the inside. And just because I decide that I'm going to step on a scale on a Monday morning doesn't necessarily mean that my body's ready to let go of weight that day. And I don't know what day my body's going to let go of weight, and you don't know what day your body's going to let go of weight. So just because you picked a time and a day to step on a scale doesn't necessarily mean that your body's hormonally ready to let go of weight. And so what I really want to encourage you in, if it has to get to this point, and I had to do this for myself as well, is give you permission to not weigh yourself. You can even decline getting on a scale when you're at a doctor's appointment. There is no need for you to get on a scale. If your blood pressure is fine, if your heart rate is fine, if you don't have any reasons to be on a scale, then there really isn't a need for you to get on there, and you have that right to exercise that for yourself. So if you're not mentally and emotionally prepared to get on the scale, regardless of what that number says, then I highly recommend and strongly encourage you to just remove the scale out of your life for a little while and really focus on what you're trying to do for your health. And remember, when you're intermittent fasting, the health benefits are really the purpose for intermittent fasting in the way I teach it for women who are in the majority of the situations that we're in, because you're watching this video, or because you've reached out and asked for help, or because you're joining one of my monthly courses for intermittent fasting, and what it is that we're going through as aging women, in large part because of the damage that we've done to our bodies trying to follow diet programs and focusing on weight loss and doing whatever it takes to reach a certain number on that scale. And if you're anything like I am, I've pretty much done whatever it takes at certain times in my life, looking back now, knowing how unhealthy it was, and some of the damage that I was doing to my body at that time has resurfaced or surfaced now that I'm aging and my hormones are changing. So there's really no need for us to step on a scale. There's a lot of other non-scale ways that we can feel successful and sort of reward ourselves. And quite honestly, when you're stepping on the scale often, daily, a couple times a week, it really is that thing that becomes sort of an ego booster for us. And there's a lot of other ways that you can boost your ego when you're trying to do some positive things for your health that will eventually result in a weight loss. So here are some things that I highly recommend that you start doing if you're looking for a feel good or an attaboy for yourself, to know that you're headed in the right direction with what you're doing with your nutrition and your fitness, and even more specifically with what you're doing with your intermittent fasting. First and foremost, remove the scale out of your home if you are not disciplined enough to just stay off of it. Ask your husband or ask your girlfriend to come over, whoever it is that you can trust, and ask them to just physically remove the scale from your home so that you're not tempted to get on that scale. The second thing that you want to do is check in with yourself. What kind of signals is your body sending to you to let you know that you're on the right track? Are you feeling healthy and optimistic when you wake up in the morning? Are you in a better mood? Are you sleeping better? Are your hormones feeling like they're a little bit more balanced? Is your skin clearing up? Are you noticing physique changes in your body? When you look at a glass or a mirror when you walk by, what are the positive messages that your body is sending to you? And if you're doing all the right things and you're exercising positive self-talk, your brain will send you positive signals when it sees your image passing by a reflection or a mirror, because you're doing all the positive things and you're practicing your positive self-talk. So those are some of the things that you can use to sort of feed your ego when you're trying to stay off a scale and remind yourself that you're doing all the right things. Another huge thing that you can do, which will never ever lie to you, is use your clothes as a judge or a guide that you're moving in the right direction. If you are putting on a pair of jeans that used to fit snug and they're no longer feeling snug, that is a victory. That should be a sign that you're moving things in the right direction. A pair of jeans could fit you completely different from one day to the next, and the scale may not budge. So if you put a pair of your favorite jeans on and they're fitting you perfectly and you feel confident when you're in them, and then you go step on the scale and the scale didn't change in the number that was on there, how would that make you feel about your perfectly fitting jeans? Most times it will make you feel discouraged and depressed when the jeans just a few seconds earlier were making you feel amazing. So don't ruin a good thing for yourself because the scale has not caught up to your efforts yet. And we never know when that scale is going to change. Our body is the only one that can determine that, and it has a mind of its own. So trust your clothes, trust your positive self-talk, trust what you're seeing in a mirror, and trust that what you feel when you wake up every morning is truly a positive signal that you're doing all the right things, regardless of what the scale says. And then the other thing that I wanted to share with you, and this is something that I have come up quite often in some of the consultation calls that I do with the women that are in my course. And when we pick a weight that we want to aspire to be, we often pick a weight from our past or a previous time in our life when we think that we were happy with ourselves. And again, if you're anything like me, I can tell you a weight that I thought in my past was a time that I was happy with myself. But then if I really get honest with myself and think about that time of my life, I probably wasn't happy with that body or that person either. I was probably still in that state of struggle and trying to perfect whatever it is I had going on in my body at that time. And I am at a place in my life right now at 51 years old with an amazing husband and 2 amazing kids and a beautiful home and a blessed life, that why would I want to wish away my present state for something that I had in the past when I'm guaranteeing you I probably wasn't as happy and feeling as confident and feeling as blessed and as grateful for what I have now. So be careful and be very cautious when you're trying to figure out what it is you're aspiring to accomplish when you're going through this journey as an aging woman, and be very careful about what you set your goals to be. I caution you to be very realistic and don't wish for something that you've had in the past that probably wasn't making you very happy either, or that you had to do something that wasn't exactly safe nutritionally or might not have been safe physically for you to hold on to or have at that time. And I know that I could never have my 20-year-old body back, nor would I ever want it, because that would mean that I would not have had an opportunity to have my 2 amazing kids. And for a lot of women, that's the same situation. There's a little bit of sacrifice that we give up as we age. There's a little bit that we have to sacrifice to have our children, or even if you didn't physically have children of your own, just being in a motherly type role changes what we do activity-wise, and sometimes that's a sacrifice too. So look at the blessings that you have in your life. Look at all the things that you're grateful for. Think about your health. Think about the lifestyle that you want to live authentically. And then try to figure out what you'd be willing to give up to have something you had in the past. And I know for me personally, there's not one thing that I would give up today to have a body that I had 20 or 30 years ago, because there'd be way too much that I would have to give up. So be very real with yourself and be very honest with yourself about what you're aspiring to be, and is it worth it? And sometimes it's not. And that's where living that authentic life really does come into play, when you're setting your goals and you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your fitness and your nutrition and the health standards that you're trying to set for your life. What do you want, or what are you willing to give up to have, or to try to attain something that you desire, but it may not be the reality of the lifestyle that you're choosing to live. And I always say that there's pizza nights, and there's wine nights, and there's, some celebrations, Mexico trip that we just had, that I would never ever dream of giving up to have a body or a physique that I think that could have in its place. I would never ever dream of that. And so being realistic about the things you have in your life are key to not only, having a healthy relationship with food, but having a healthy relationship with your body, and not putting yourself in an emotional downward spiral all the time, trying to achieve something that just may no longer be attainable, because you would rather be happy, and you would rather live your life authentically, and you would rather have some lifestyle options as opposed to dwindling down to absolutely nothing. And trust me, I have been that girl before who has backed out of social events, and backed out of creating memories, and backed out of times with my family, and backed out of times with my friends, because I didn't want to be around food. And you can't get those times back. So I caution you on that too. Never skip a memory making opportunity, or never skip a social event because you're choosing to fast. Adjust your fasting schedule to accommodate your lifestyle so that you can be happy in both worlds. So if you are one of those women who's struggling with the scale, or you're feeling frustrated because your weight's not falling off as fast as your mind thinks it should be, remember that you have a very intelligent body, and it's not going to do anything for you that it's not ready to do. And it might just be that it's stuck on healing something inside your body that you don't even know that it's going on yet. And never ever compromise a healing opportunity for a weight loss, because again, that's one of those things that you can never get back. And a healthy, happy body is always more attractive than a physique that you're having to do desperate things to attain. So always try to be healthy and happy first. And I guarantee you that the physique that you are longing for will be right there behind you, but you'll be happy and healthy along the way. So let me look here on Facebook really quick and see if I have any questions and comments. And then YouTube, don't you worry, I'll be over there in just a second. Hey, Michelle, good to see you here. Rita, hello, North Carolina, good to have you. And congratulations on jumping into our July course today. Rita, you just secured your spot in July, so happy to have you. Jenny, good to have you here. Melissa, I started intermittent fasting May 19th. I haven't weighed myself. Waiting till July 19th. My clothes are definitely looser. I feel great too. Melissa, I think if your clothes are feeling looser and you're feeling great, I wouldn't even worry about June 19th. I would just keep going with the flow, girlfriend. Jenny, you're watching for bed. Well, lucky you. Michelle, good to have you here. Tiffany Foster, nice to see you here. Rita, thank you. The scale is not a motivator. No, it is not. No need to step on that at all. Magdalena, what a beautiful name. If only I had found you sooner. Thank you so much. Magdalena, don't worry about when you found me. Be glad that you're here now, and jump in and ask any questions. And definitely you're welcome back anytime. So jump in with us anytime you can. Rita, I wore an outfit to work today that I couldn't get on a few months ago. Started IF in April. Rita, that's a win, and I take that every single time. Okay, Faith, good to see you. Girlfriend, I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you back. And Rana, good to see you. Okay, let me see what's going on over here on YouTube. Let's see, I always scroll to the top so the people who got here first get my hellos first. Yvonne, good to have you back here tonight. Kristen, hey there, girlfriend, good to see you. Yvonne, oh my God, the scale, I always refer to it to see if what I ate worked. I have issues, bad habit that I need to get rid of. Love-hate relationship with it. Yvonne, I say stick it away somewhere or take it to your neighbor's house. Just stay off that thing. Jill, I used to be afraid of the scale. Now I feel I need to weigh myself every day to help stay on track. Would 1 time per week be reasonable? Jill, I don't know if 1 time per week is reasonable. It is that thing that you have to make a decision for yourself. And if you see a number that you don't like, can you emotionally and psychologically handle that with going off the deep end? Everyone has their own personal way of handling it. I personally can't handle not seeing a number that I want, so it's best for me emotionally and psychologically to just stay off. Let's see. Mary. Well, I don't know why. Let's see. Lori, are you using a sunscreen? I have a history of melanoma and encourage you to be aware of your health of your skin. Yes, I used SPF 50 the entire time we were in Mexico. But thank you for pointing that out. Beautiful buddy. What did you do to regulate hormones? I fasted. I eliminated soy and eliminated gluten, and I'm very careful about the dairy that I consume. And over time, my hormones just balance themselves out. Joanda, I'm new to this group. This is great info. Joanda, welcome, and hopefully you'll come back. I go live on YouTube and Facebook Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you can't catch me live, I always post the recording, so you can always come back and check for it. So make sure you subscribe, Joanda, so that you'll know when I go live. Okay, the scale goes away. Yvonne, congratulations. Put it away for a while. Lordy, I'm not trusting anything with my body right now. Menopause. It's truly making everything in me nuts. Getting lost. Don't worry, we can get you unlost. It just takes some time and some trust that intermittent fasting will do the trick for you, and understanding the science behind it and why it does balance out your hormones. So if you're looking for some guidance, support, and some education in regards to how it works for us aging women, I strongly encourage you to jump into my July course. It's a 30-day course. By week 1, you'll be feeling and seeing results. The link's always posted below in the video after the live's over with, so you can go check out the course there. I would love to have you. Okay, you were in my brain. Yes, unrealistic goals. Okay, Gloria, hi from Cleveland. The Cavs are playing, but I was so happy to find you. Watching your videos are answering so many of my IF questions. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Gloria. If you have any other personal questions, never feel free to email me. Holly, thanks for all the great info so far. Diane, do you have any tips on what you can do this month to get ready for the July group? Thanks. Yeah, I would say if you're getting ready for the July group, I would just suggest managing a fasting window. So if you're not really doing any fasting at all and you have no idea what time you start eating and what time you stop eating, I would say start journaling that and start really paying attention to how food makes you feel. A big part of what we do in our intermittent fasting course is really help you let go of things like weighing yourself and counting calories and portioning out your food and counting macros, and really just paying attention to how food makes you feel, listening to the signals that your hunger hormones send you. What does hungry really mean to you? How do you feel when you're in a fasted state? And we really get you comfortable with what your body is trained to do on its own. So I would say just start journaling some of that stuff and really start paying attention to creating a fasting window, even if it just is 12 to 14 hours. And then when you get in the course, we help you expand on that. So just practice fasting. Hi, Diane, I'm in your June group. Fasting is going great, but I am having a hard time staying asleep at night. Normal with IF. Sean, it is normal with IF. Make sure you're adding in some magnesium. Epsom salt baths are great, or getting some mineralized water with magnesium in it, or taking a magnesium supplement usually will help with that. And then oftentimes, it's just that thing where your body just doesn't need as much sleep anymore. So maybe adjust your sleeping schedule a little bit. Maybe go to bed a little bit later so you're not waking up in the middle of the night. Or maybe try just getting up a little earlier. But it usually does end up balancing out, and it usually has to do with reducing your carb intake. Rennie, day 3 of 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of feasting. I'm feeling great. Thanks for all your great info. Rennie, you are so welcome, and congratulations. 20-hour fasting windows. That's what is my sweet spot. So you're doing great. Jill, good to have you here. DS, hello, I'm just starting to listen. Where do you find your beginner information? DS, I would say just go back through my YouTube channel. The Intermittent Fasting playlist has all my intermittent fasting tips. Just go to the very first one and you can start from there. Crystal, good to see you. I had a cheeseburger today, not going to feel guilty. Heather, don't feel guilty about a cheeseburger. Not at all. Someone just posted, and my assistant probably just posted the link to our group to sign up for July, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Teresa, how much fat is too much? I know you don't count them. I don't know. The great thing about consuming real fat, so that means real food fat, avocados, olives, those kind of things, nut butters, coconut oils, avocado oils, those kinds of fats, are that your body will not let you overeat them. So if you're eating real fat, then you really can't get too much real whole food fat because your body will send you signals, your hunger hormones will send you signals saying that you've had enough, and then you just get those brain signals to say you're done eating and you can just walk away. You don't get that same sort of signal from your hunger hormones when you're eating empty calories or carbohydrates, which is why we overeat carbohydrates. That's why in my house, an open bag of chips is an empty bag of chips, because we just don't get that feeling of satisfaction. So practice eating whole food fats and high fat foods. And high fat foods, I mean like avocados, olives, some bacon, some nut butters, some nuts, those kind of things. Not high fat foods like deep fried chicken or some French fries. Those won't send you the right signals. When you're satiated and your body has the nutrients that it needs, it sends you signals that will naturally allow you to back away from food because you will be feeling satisfied. So those are the kind of high fat foods you want to go to, and then you don't have to worry about necessarily counting them because your body does the work for you. It will tell you when you're done. If I'm losing too much weight too fast, am I not eating enough calories in my feasting window, or is that the weight my body is okay with losing? Kristen, I don't know what losing too much weight too fast is. So if you're not feeling energized, if you're feeling faint, if you're feeling fatigued, if you're not feeling well, then I would say up your fat intake and up your calories in your feasting window. If you're feeling fine, if you're feeling energized, if you're feeling optimistic and happy, then I wouldn't necessarily say that you're losing too much weight too fast. Lamana, I did IF while back to no avail. Does it matter if I'm at a healthy weight and just want to get rid of love handles since menopause, 59, 145 pounds? Yeah, intermittent fasting isn't always used for weight loss. It's often used for just healing your body. So I say if you want to use it to just kind of feel better, have mental clarity, get rid of some insomnia, get rid of some of those hormonal sort of symptoms that you have, intermittent fasting will definitely do that for you. That ate at midnight snack thought there was magnesium in the mineral carbonated waters. No, some carbonated waters have magnesium, some don't. So Pellegrino does not have magnesium in it, but Topo Chico and the Mountain Valley spring water does. And then I would just say, just do like you would do anything else you're going to consume and just read the ingredients label, and then you'll kind of figure it out. And then if you can't find some, then just take a magnesium supplement. Holly, I eat without restricting during feasting window and it's causing my pants to get tighter, but I don't want to restrict anymore now that I've had a taste of what no restricting feels like. Holly, I'm gonna answer that, and then let me get Teresa's really quick. Do you recommend juicing? Teresa, I only recommend juicing if you're not juicing a bunch of fruits and sugary kind of things. So if you're juicing like kale and spinach and cucumber, then I say that's fine. Holly, okay. So what I would say is that if you're not restricting anything and you're noticing that your clothes are feeling tighter, then it could be that you might be consuming too many of just the wrong foods, and maybe it's not a quantity thing. So one of the things that's really hard for us women to really grasp hold of and comprehend is the whole high fat thing. And so oftentimes what we do is we're still taking in too many carbs, starchy carbs, or we might be over consuming protein. And so this is my philosophy on not measuring or counting food and maintaining a good feasting window is I eat high fat foods in whatever quantity I need them in first. I eat moderate amounts of protein, and then I eat very conscious carbohydrates. So tonight for our dinner, for example, we had zucchini pasta, which is a vegetable carbohydrate, so that would be my conscious carbohydrate. We had it sauteed in avocado oil and fresh garlic. I poured a very clean, like maybe 1 cup of spaghetti sauce over that. It was a tomato marinara sauce. It had maybe 6 ingredients, and they were all whole food ingredients. Sprinkled a little bit of Parmesan cheese on that and a little bit of crushed red pepper. Then on the side, I had a huge bowl of my high-fat salad, which was cucumbers, avocado, sweet peppers, generous portion of avocado oil, some rice vinegar, some sunflower seeds, and some 21 seasoning salute. So I had 2 huge bowls of vegetables and fat for dinner tonight, and I felt completely satisfied. Other than the sunflower seeds, there was really no protein in our dinner. It was just vegetables and fat, and that was a perfect meal for me. And I ate 2 big bowls of both, and I'm not hungry at all, and I'll be fine till I break my fast tomorrow at probably around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So maybe you're just eating the wrong things in your feasting window, so I would play around that with a little bit. And Holly, if you want to like send me like a little list of some things you're eating, we could do a couple little tweaks and see if some things change for you. Making a magnesium lotion is crazy easy and effective. Google it. Awesome. I will Google that because I'm always looking for those kind of things. So thanks for that. I'm sure you probably just do it through some Epsom salts and some oils or something. I don't know. Okay, so for those of you, Holly, I'm expecting to get a food list or something, or a food diary from you, and then I will help you tweak some things so that we can make some changes for you there. And let's see if we got anything over here on Facebook. Let's see. Melissa, so everyone intermittent fast every day or certain days? I say only intermittent fast on the days that you want to feel absolutely amazing. It works every time. Been dealing with some stress lately. IF has helped a lot. Watch you when you're on. Thanks so much. Joy, it's always good to have you. Thanks for watching and glad it's helping you. Okay, so I think that's it over there. Let me see if there's anything else over here. Sunflower seeds are okay. Let's see. Sunflower seeds are okay. I know sunflower oil is inflammatory. It's one of those things that doesn't bother me. I have gotten rid of peanuts because peanuts totally make me feel inflamed. So peanuts, peanut butter, peanut anything, I just stay away from. Sunflower seeds don't do that for me, and I don't use sunflower oil. I just eat roasted sunflower seeds, and we use them as a topping on salads just for a little bit of crunch. My husband uses them in his shake. I use sunflower seed spread in my shake, and again, it doesn't cause me to be inflamed. So that's another one of those things that you have to listen to the signals that your body's sending you. And if you eat sunflower in any form and you feel inflamed or you feel bloated or your joints feel achy, that's a do not eat food item for you. And then you just find a substitution for it. That's what I've done with peanut butter. I eat macadamia nuts, I eat hazelnuts, we eat Brazil nuts. Cashews I have to eat sparingly because they kind of make me feel a little bit inflamed and achy for some crazy reason. I don't know why. And so I've just sort of really tuned in to immediately how I feel when I consume a food item. And if it doesn't make me feel amazing, then I usually eat it very sparingly, or I stop eating it altogether because there's way too many amazing foods out there that I can add in as a substitute that don't make me feel bad. And so I just don't make that mistake too often anymore. And you'll kind of learn that as you go through it too. So if it's that thing that doesn't make you feel great, then just put it on that list. Okay, so I saw walnuts. Okay, yeah, walnuts are one of those heart healthy kind of nuts. So, and they are also very satiating. So it doesn't take too many walnuts, and you'll feel kind of satisfied fat wise. And they're just one of those good healthy nuts to eat. So if you can eat them, I say eat them for sure. Okay, any other comments or questions on YouTube or anything else on Facebook before I cut out of here for tonight? I always appreciate you guys jumping on. I know there's a huge basketball game on. My family's watching it in the other room. So if you're a basketball fan, thanks so much for jumping on with us. Okay, is IF really doable on a vegan diet? Yeah, absolutely. Remember, this is what I always say about intermittent fasting. I post this everywhere because it's my little catchphrase, but it's not a diet, it's a timing thing. So you just take whatever food you eat in your vegan nutritional plan and you move it to a feasting window. You don't have to necessarily change the way you eat. Yvonne's vegan and she's doing great. I wouldn't say that I'm vegan, but I really enjoy my meatless days. I didn't have anything that would take me out of a vegan diet today at all, so I ate ate like a vegan today and I feel totally fine. So it's not a diet per se, it's just a time in which you choose to let your body rest and heal itself, and then it's a time in which you choose to put nutrients and calories in your body. So you're just changing the times in which you eat. You should not have to alter what you like to eat. Oh, you're welcome, Generation X. I love spending time with you guys. Yeah, lots of beans if you can handle beans, nuts, seeds, vegetables are amazing. So just add a lot of vegetables and then add some vegetable fats. So we use avocado oil very generously in our house. I always say, if you come over to my house for grilled asparagus, you should bring a bib, because when we pull that asparagus off the plate, it drips in avocado oil and it's super moist and it's crunchy, and we put salt on it and it's just absolutely delicious. So that's a way that you can add some high fat into your diet and stay on a very vegan kind of plan. Not a problem at all. What about almond butter? Almond butter, if it works for you, definitely use almond butter. I always say with those butters, make sure you're reading the ingredients label and you're seeing how much sugar they're adding to them. Like I always say, sunflower seed butter has like 5 grams of sugar in it, and sunflower seed spread has 1 gram of sugar in it. So make sure you're reading your labels and make sure you're paying attention to how much sugar is being added in some of those butters would be the only thing I would caution you on. Sherry, I've been doing low carb for just over a year. The past couple of months I've been stalled. I also retain water and take a prescription water pill. What can help? Any suggestions on how to jumpstart weight loss again? Sherry, my suggestion would be jump into our July Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course and play around with some of the things that we're doing and learn some of the reasons why your body's holding on to weight and what you can do to get rid of that water pill. My doctor wanted to put me on a water pill as well because I could put 7 pounds of water weight on in a day. Like I would literally put my feet on the floor and I would feel my body fill up like a water balloon. I felt like my brain was floating in my head. I couldn't wear my clothes. It was horrible. And I just had to make some dietary changes and some lifestyle changes, and I got rid of all of that, and I never ended up taking that water pill prescription. I never got it filled. So there are some options. It's something that you're putting in your body nutritionally that your body is having some sort of reaction to, and that can all be reversed. You just have to be willing to do some experimenting and keep track of how your body's feeling when you're eating foods, and you'll be able to figure it out, and you'll be able to eliminate it and get rid of that water pill. Are you going to start a food mood diary, how I feel after? Oh yeah, that's a great thing to do, Rita. Keeping a food mood diary is awesome. Faye, does antibiotics break fast? Multivitamin. Okay, so anything that you do, this is what my rule of thumb is with fasting, and then I'm gonna jump off so I can go jump in with my family, let you guys have your night back. So I say when you're gonna fast, why would you ever take a chance with breaking a fast, especially if you're working hard to get into that really ketogenic type of environment, where you're really fat adaptive and you're really energized and you're feeling great and your mind is clear. Like when you get that fat adaptive, absolutely off the charts, amazing feeling, don't do anything to take that away from yourself and just stay in it. So I always say, if you're going to take a multivitamin and you're not sure if it's going to knock you out of your fast, you can do one of 2 things. Experiment for 7 days. So take your multivitamin during your fasting window for 7 days. See if you still can attain that super energetic, positive, off the charts, amazing feeling of being fat adaptive. And if you can, it's not a problem for you. If you take your multivitamin in your fasting state for 7 days and you're not feeling that fat adaptive feeling and you're feeling like you're not going in the right direction, then it might just be enough to take you out of your fasting window. So play with it for 7 days and then take the situation that feels the best for you and then run with that. I would always say take your multivitamin at night if you can, so you're kind of sleeping through that process. I take a majority of any supplements that I take right before I go to bed, and then that way I can sleep through them, and then I have my long fasting window during the day, so it's not going to really damage anything for me. And an antibiotic is usually something that you want to take with food anyway, so I would take an antibiotic during your feasting window. And if you have to take it more than 1 time a day, antibiotics are usually a very short duration in time, so sometimes you just have to sacrifice what you're doing to follow a prescription protocol. And if you have to take antibiotics for a couple days, then you just kind of sacrifice your fasting for a couple days so your antibiotics don't rip up your digestive system, because they do kind of, take away that good gut health. So I would just play with it. Shanna, we don't have a Costco. Is that similar to H-E-B, or is it a special grocery store? Costco is like a membership grocery store, but anything you find at Costco, you can find anywhere else. You just can't get it in bulk. So if you're looking for like Topo Chico or some of those things that I talk about a lot that I get at Costco, you can find it at a H-E-B. You just can't get it in probably the same bulk or for the same price, but you can still find it, so don't worry about it. You fasting, and sorry, my English is not so good. Oh, that's okay. Oh, welcome. I'll see if I can try to figure out what it is. If you have a question, if I can answer it for you. Are you fasting? Is that what you're trying to ask? Okay, so I'm going to cut out of here. Definitely thanks for all your thumbs up and your comments and your questions. I love being able to have this opportunity to chat with you guys and answer basic questions. If you are in my July course and you're already registered, congratulations, you have reserved your spot. July is almost halfway full already, and we are only like in the very first week of June. So I always recommend and caution you, if you are interested in joining one of my 30-day programs, they are selling out faster than ever. Definitely make sure that you get yourself registered. You can practice your fasting by following along with a lot of these lives that I do, give you very general tips on what you can do to get started. Then we take you a little bit deeper once you're in the course, and I can give you some more one-on-one and individualized attention. You get a 30-minute consultation call with me, so I kind of help you get through some of the sticky parts, or help you get unstuck if you're feeling stuck with something with your with what it is you're trying to attempt with your intermittent fasting and your lifestyle changes. So if you're interested, definitely get yourself registered. The link has been posted in both the comment sections here on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're on YouTube, any one of my intermittent fasting videos that are in my intermittent fasting playlist will have the link to the registration for the course. And on Facebook, it's also available if you click on my timeline photo. So the link is everywhere. And again, if you're looking to get if you're looking to save your spot in our July course, get registered sooner than later. We are going to have to close it out. And oftentimes when we close it out early, we generally start earlier. And like I said, we're already halfway full, so we will probably fill up by mid-June. And then I might just take you guys into a Facebook group and start doing some kind of individualized coaching in Facebook before we start our course. So we'll get you taken care of either way. My biggest suggestion is just get yourself registered and secure your spot so that you don't miss out and have to wait a whole nother month until we start in August. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your likes. Definitely feel free to share this if you have a girlfriend or someone that you know that is struggling with some health issues due to aging, or maybe some stalled weight loss attempts, or that if they're interested in joining intermittent fasting and they just need a place to kind of get some guidance and some support, they're always welcome here. Have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time, both here on YouTube and Facebook.